This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said, if not,
enjoy the show.
Previously on The Black Man Misunderstood.
After my mom just changed everything, like when I saw people dying left and right, like you said, once you see it, it starts to happen more frequently.
Black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist.
Welcome back to The Black Man Misunderstood, where we discuss topics about the black man that others are afraid to speak on. I'm your host, Mike B, and this is episode 3 of season 4. 2 guys, 1 gun. Joining me as always, my brother,
Neighborhood therapist Justice Payne Tyson was good with it.
What up, bro? How you been, man?
Been excited for this episode for a long time. That's how I've been. How have you been?
I'm good. I know you've been excited for this episode. This is a particular topic that people don't realize that happened. So I get it. I get it.
So for those of y'all that have been rocking with us for a good while, season 1, we explained to y'all what Black Man Misunderstood was, where it came from. But season 4, this episode, I think this is going to be like the epitome of Black Man Misunderstood, because it was, if that was the brainchild in season 1, this is the child leaving the house, going off doing his own thing. This is it right here.
Okay.
When we came up with Black Man Misunderstood, it was 2 guys from the same area that had lived 2 different lives, right? And it's not that hard to do that, but it's also not that easy to do that, because although Paterson, New Jersey is big, it's also kind of small on the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
So everybody knows everybody, and if you don't know that person, your auntie, your cousin, your brother, somebody knows somebody that knows that person, right?
Yep.
So you can't really say things in the city and think it's gonna go by and nobody ain't gonna call you on BS. You can't be like, oh, I knocked out such and such, because there were witnesses there. You know what I mean? Like things, You can't do that, right?
Yeah.
The prevalence of this, the importance of this episode, though, you got 2 individuals that you've listened to for 4 seasons talk about how they were raised, how far they've come, and then to be here sitting in front of each other, whether virtually or not, and talk about life experiences. But there is a moment in time, right? There is a moment in time for me as an adult where I went, yo, how are we from the same place and we still rocking and you don't know, right? And y'all like, yo, get to the point. I got you. Say less. So I went back and forth about this with Mike. I haven't gone with the story with Mike. I wanted Mike to do this raw, right? The only thing I asked him was, did he want me to do hypothetical or did he want me to tell the truth, right? And Mike has said he's game. He wants me to tell the truth. I'm still going to give y'all the truth, but I'm going to omit names. That's cool with you, Mike?
Cool. Copacetic, bro.
All right. God rest his soul, we had a brother named, we're going to call him Donovan.
I like that.
God rest his soul. We love Donovan, right? We had a brother named Donovan. We used to all link up as kids on our other brother's porch. We're going to call him Don Juan. Don Juan had the meetup spot, right? He had this big old porch. His mom and his dad, God rest his soul, his dad.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a meetup spot, you know what I mean? And it wasn't just a meetup spot for us. Like, I had my 18th B-Day I had alluded to on a podcast, where Up the Hill and Down the Hill came together, and you know what I mean? Like, damn near a quarter of Patterson was on,
the block.
Right, on that block. I'm trying not to say the block. This is hard, but you know what I mean? It was a block. If you remember, you was there, you remember, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a nightly moment. I have no idea what we were doing. I just remember we were adults, correct?
Yeah, that's
We
correct.
were adults, right?
Yeah, yeah,
We were
yeah.
all in college. Well, me and
Yeah,
you were
no.
in college for sure.
Yeah, me and you for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I don't know if it was sophomore, junior year. It couldn't have been senior year. That's how I know it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So backstory: me and Mike in college, we kept into contact, but it was distant.
Yeah.
Very, very, very distant. When I say distant, I mean super distant. Like it's one of them ones where I would talk to Mike maybe once
Every
every
four
three
or five
months.
months. Yeah, three,
Yeah,
four
yeah,
months.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
was like that,
And we
right?
and we caught up like this.
Right. It's just like that, right? So even though I'm in college, I'm on a different path. I'm still rugged. I'm still on campus, acting like I ain't got no sense. I'm learning things I'm supposed to learn in college, but I'm still laying people out how I'm laying people out without me, giving up too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was an event. Donovan is still in the hood, right? He's doing the best that he can. I'll give him all props in the world, but he made a bad decision, in my opinion. So what he did was he met up with one of our homies. We're gonna call him the homie. We're gonna call him. Give me a name. Run me a name. Any name.
Quentin. Let's go with Quentin.
All right. So Quentin was into selling guns, right? You told me to give
Mm-hmm.
me the real story. Selling guns. He's a part of a huge gang. So Quentin told Donovan, like, yo, let's set it up, boom, boom, boom. Now Donovan was very infatuated with guns. I think he started my infatuation, believe it or not. He was very infatuated with guns, right? So he opens this briefcase, black briefcase. Quentin does. Quentin's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, look at that baby. So Donovan is looking at it, he's admiring it and all that. So he look at me like, Just, what you think about that? Mind you, I'm in college. But Donovan is known throughout Patterson as that who's who. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's active,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right. He's also a ladies' man, but he's active on that side. So I think on that porch, it said a lot to you. I won't speak for you, but I think it said a lot to you because you're looking at Donovan like, why he asking Just about a gun? I saw your face. It was just, huh? Right? This is wild, right? Right? So Don was like, "What you think, Just?" So I take it. I'm breaking
Yo,
it apart,
facts.
putting it back together.
That's right.
I'm doing, I'm doing the absolute most, right? As I'm doing it, I'm not paying nobody no mind. I'm just in my zone. I'm admiring the beauty of the ratchet. I don't even remember what it was. Like it was a 4.5, or maybe a Desert Eagle. I don't remember. It
Yeah.
was beautiful though. Right? It was
Beautiful.
beautiful. So I was going to put it back in the box, right? And as I'm putting it down like this. I got my hand, I'm doing the proper thing. This is the trigger, and I got my hand on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike goes, let me see it.
Oh, I did.
I got my hand on this thing, right? I have it in the box. And in that moment, I look up and I'm like, I just heard a familiar voice say, let me see it. I knew it was you, but I just wanted to make sure. So I had to make visual contact, right? Right? So Quentin is like, yeah, let him see it. I'm like, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at everybody else on the porch. I'm like, man, I'm on the porch with killers and hooligans and you know what I mean? I'm like, except for Mike. And I don't mean no disrespect when I'm saying that, right?
No
I,
disrespect at all. You good, bro?
I looked at you up and down. I'm like, I'm not giving him this gun. What are you talking about? You are persistent. Man, give me the I think that day your pride came out. For me in that moment, your pride came out because the disgusting look you gave me, like, what? I'm down, give me the gun. And I'm like, I'm not giving you this gun. All right. That's when Donovan, he now if y'all know anything about Donovan, Donovan was very aggressive. He talked with his hands. He gonna hit me in my side while I got this ratchet in my hand. Thank God it wasn't loaded, right? He he hits me in my side. Man, quit being a B, man. Let him hold it. That's a grown man. Da, da, da. I said, D, if I give Mike this gun, bro, what does that say about us? You remember me saying that?
I do remember that.
I said, what does that say about us? He was like, man, he grown. Let him see it. I said, peer pressure. Even as a grown man, peer pressure. Said, all right, Mike. So I turn it around like a pair of scissors, like you're supposed to. You were taught scissors don't give it them sharp end, right? So I
Hmm.
put the barrel on me. I give Mike the gun. Listeners, viewers, Mike take this is my point of view. Mike takes the gun. He points up, cocks it, aims it. Right? He's not intentionally aiming it, but he has the barrel in my face, and he clicks.
Did I? Yo, I don't even remember that.
You pulled the trigger. And I was just like, I felt it. I was like, yo, bro would have killed me. But because this is the part that everybody forgot, just was when he was disassembling the gun, he took it apart and was,
But I don't even. But if I remember correctly, it wasn't even loaded.
it wasn't. But Quentin had the bullets in his pocket. Regardless if it was or it wasn't, I had
Yeah,
already disassembled the gun.
yeah.
I already had put it back together. So I knew if I was giving it to anybody, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
It was completely clean. But the fact that you was able to click, and I was like, and so I accepted that I was dead, right, for a moment, even though I know I cleaned the gun. I accept, right?
Yo, this man say he saw the ghost real quick.
So I accepted that I was dead, right? But when I came out of it, I said, man, give me that. He was like, what, bro? What? I said, man, I said, Mike, have you ever held a gun before? And that right there was in that moment when you said, nah, this is my first time. I said, mm. I just looked at you, but I couldn't be mad. Ask me why.
Why? Why weren't you mad?
Because in that moment, I realized that we had set out on two different paths, and this was us crossing years later from setting out on that path
Okay.
in that moment. So I just had to put it in there. I locked it up. D is like, "Oh, you like that bad boy?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't care what you do with it." Cause now I'm mad. I'm like, now I'm feeling the way. We basically exposed our brother to a firearm, and it wasn't for nothing good. Now I feel like shit.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I get
That's
what
the
you're saying.
loving person in me for my guy Mike and all the people that was on that porch. Not to say that anybody else that was on that porch was less than, but we deal in this. This is what we do. But if you say you love somebody and you actually from the streets and you know that they got a path out and they're gonna be greater than you in your eyes, you keep them away from that shit. That's how we was taught. Hold on, time out. That's how I was taught.
Because it
Let me
changed
take that back.
nowadays.
That's how I was taught. If somebody was considered your OG or a big homie thing, that's what they was teaching. They was like, "Yo, each one teach one, you do better." So me giving you that ratchet, bro, that to this day it still haunts me.
Mm.
It do, even though nothing happened, but the click, I still hear the click, and I'm like, that would have been my fault. Cause I should have just ignored all that.
Mm.
I should have just, I should, as many times as me and D done fought, I should have just squared out with him. Like, bro, I'm not giving him the ratchet. So you can fight me or he can shut up. Me and Mike can fight. All y'all can fight me. I don't care. We not getting this ratchet. That's one of them times, man. I gave in.
You. That's funny.
I need to hear that story from your perspective, though, how you remember it.
Yo, so First off, now all this stuff's coming to recollection now. I remember we was on Don Juan's porch.
Mm-hmm.
I remember y'all
Especially
talking
that
about
you remember
all
the names.
yeah. Of course, I remember the names. Don Juan porch. I know Donovan was looking for it, and Quentin was the one bringing it. And I was just like, it's whatever. It's like my boys. I'm like, they not really gonna do anything right now on the porch. I knew Donovan was a part of that life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, they're really not gonna. These my boys. I grew up with them. They know I'm really not about that life. right? So I'm like, they're not gonna put me in harm's way. If this is like a quick look, bang, bang, we're out of here, we're done. I'm not. I'm not even thinking anything crazy. Um, I, the moment when you grabbed the gun, though, that's funny that you said that I gave you a look, because you know what, I probably did. And not even just thinking about reaction. I'm like, what are you asking just about the gun for? Like what? Like this fool in college like me? What? So I definitely believe. Yeah, I did give you a look,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the moment when I asked for it, it was more so curiosity killed the cat,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I only seen guns via TV, online, never really in person. I've heard them in person, probably been around them in person and didn't realize, but that was like my first interaction with an actual handpiece,
Mm-hmm.
and to feel how heavy it was. And it was clean. It was a clean gun, though. I tell you
Yeah.
that much.
Like,
I'm pretty
oof.
sure it was all black, if I remember correctly.
Vaguely, I just remember it's
Yeah,
a beautiful gun.
yeah, yeah. And you snatching him like, I'm like, all right, cool. It's out my hand now. I'm good. All right. The moment came and went. I'm good.
Yo, and I just remember everybody going, "Yo, Mike, yo," and I'm just like, "This is y'all fault." But in hindsight, it's really my fault. I should have just said no. I should have slammed the briefcase on you and said no. I
Yeah,
just should have said no.
true. But we live and you learn.
Right, right.
Because
I
the funny,
almost didn't live, but yeah.
I can't with you in your eyes. You almost didn't live. But the funny thing is, like the whole thing about that is then the next time I actually touched the gun, it was with you
Mm-hmm.
and the crew from my bachelor.
Mm-hmm. It was safer this time, though. It was
Yes.
in a controlled environment. You even had education on the gun. You know what I'm saying? So the teacher's like, "Hey, has anybody shot before?" I think what, two of us raised our hands.
Yeah,
Me,
yeah,
me and your
yeah.
brother-in-law. You know what I mean? So he's teaching. He's like, "All right, y'all two, y'all in charge. So when we go in there, you make sure." I'm like, "Oh, no problem. What? I get a chance to redeem myself." Absolutely, Mike. This is how you grab the pistol. This is how you cock it.
Yo, we got the clips and all that stuff
We
too.
do.
So,
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's life.
yeah.
Life goes in a circle, man. It's just but it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Now
Yeah.
you wanted to bring up Tampa.
Oh,
Come
bro.
on with it. Come on, man.
So, two guys, one gun, right? It the story basically shows you how we went two different paths and came back, right? To now bring it full circle. When we were selling my bachelor, there was an incident on one of the nights, and one of our boys, no, it wasn't of his fault. It wasn't of his fault. He was just, defending himself.
Go ahead.
Defending himself, or just would say Mr. Instigator 2.0, whatever. Is no, he just takes it there and instead of just taking a moment to breathe. Spoke to a certain individual in the club and basically told his boy next to him, yo, go get the ratchet. We gonna get them. And the whole night shifted after that because I think we were all separated, and then one by one we like came back together because like you went and found me, Leo, Mike, we gotta go. Just trust me, round everybody up, we gotta go. We went and got my brothers. We had to go get Jairus because Jairus on the island of his own. And we just try to make sure we together so we can make this move one time and don't have to come back to it. Because it's Florida. There's different gun laws down here. And you can carry. So you don't know who got what. We were the visitors at the time, so we was like, "Yup, time to be out. Nah, we ain't gonna be around this. We out of here." That shows you the mentality of what we had coming from where we came from. So that part of the conversation had to come up.
So that is your perspective of that story, right? Are you missing anything at all?
I don't think I am.
Okay. Let me give you the perspective that you know nothing about, that I've been holding on, okay?
Oh man, here we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Our brother, we're gonna call him Roy. It's me, it's Roy, and it's who? Don
Don Juan.
Julio again. Hey, when I tell you, listen, let me be very clear. Don Julio is not a shooter, okay? He is not a fighter. You know what I mean? That man is a lover. He really don't even do the scrapping. Like he don't do the talking. Like he is the background. He likes to be in the background. But for some reason, he always right there. Don Julio is always right there. Don Julio, if you're hearing this, shout out to you. You know your real name. Okay.
Yo.
So, so if y'all go back to was that season 3 we just had? You go
Yeah.
back to season 3, the life of the party. There is a clip of me talking crazy, and Mike B and Jairus are on the rooftop, and the rooftop collapses on them. That is the same night. That is the same building. That is the same event. Okay. Later that night, so you got to put things into perspective. Those individuals, those 2 individuals that I'm gonna get into, they were on that roof. For those of you that don't know, it can be a million people around me. I remember you. I'm going to remember you if you look suspicious to me. If you baller block and you play a hating or whatever it is y'all calling it right now, I could see you from afar away. So we was at the top of that roof. Mike was killing it. Jairus was killing it. Joe was killing it. Mike was killing it. Joe, Jairus, everybody's going crazy. Just even got drunk enough to where he was dancing. Roy got out there. He was there. Everybody from the Brotherhood that was out there was active, right? At 1 or 2 points, right? All the way to a point that I think I don't know who it was. Somebody from our group slipped out and was like, yo, we from Jersey. Everybody over here in this
Oh.
Brotherhood is from Jersey. And then the DJ, 2 minutes later, played Chief Kid. Bang, bang, about to shoot New Jersey up. You remember? You remember? Yeah, you forgot. You forgot. I don't forget. The DJ was hating on us. That's how bad it was. You remember?
I remember that. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. Okay.
Right. You got to put the pieces together, my guy. So, again, the whole roof is collapsing on you. You don't think somebody going to be hating? All right. So, this is the roof. I tapped you. I said, Mike, you good up here? Yeah, man, I'm enjoying myself. It was you, Jairus, I think Joe, Manny. Y'all were good. It was a clique of y'all. I'm like, y'all good.
Yeah, we
So I
weren't
said,
going
yo,
nowhere.
Roy, we out. Come on. Don Julio stayed up there with y'all. Okay. Me and Roy went down, and there was a black section. Okay. Don't get mad at the messenger. I'm telling you, that's just how they separated this place. On the roof was a mixture of music. On the bottom was reggaeton, and the VIP section, as they labeled it. I didn't understand what the VIP section was until I knew what the VIP section was. When I went in there, I'm about to get in there. Was the blackity black experience. Now, me and Roy are doing our thug dizzle. We walking down the steps. We see a bunch of baddies walking by. We like, hey, how you doing? We going on about our business. We're not flirting. We just saying, hey, how you doing? Right? We in a good element. Me and Roy walk up to the bouncer. The bouncer look at us. He was like, oh, this is the VIP section. And I said, and Roy can attest to this. I said, what's more VIP than us, baby? He said, damn, that's the best shit I heard all night. Get y'all asses in here.
Of course. It's always you, yo. It's always you, yo. I swear it's always you.
As me and Roy are walking in there, Don Julio and Jairus pop up out of nowhere. It's like they had perfect timing. They was like, oh, we with them two. So the bouncer look, he's like, he with y'all? So I look, I'm like, I mean, They all right, I guess. I'm being joking and shit, right? But Don Julio looking at me like, bro. I'm like, nah, that's my brother. That's the homie. They good. We here for a bachelor's party. He was like, all right, y'all come in, y'all enjoy yourself. Here, take this band. So he gave us VIP bands. That's why we walked out when we had VIP bands. That's what happened, right? So the four of us walk in. I'm telling you, this story is gonna make sense in a second. I'm not just telling y'all a story, tell y'all a story. Jared, when we immediately walk in, it's two shorties dancing with each other. They spot us, right? Roy takes a step back. He like, I'm not getting in trouble. I said, good man, I respect it. No problem, no problem, no problem. They came over.
Oh.
They came over. They surprisingly, they talking to Don Julio. I'm like, hold, what's happening right now? What?
Yo, that's funny.
They come in. It's two of them. They walk to Don Julio. Don Julio like, oh yeah, he doing his low voice shit, right? Jairus being Jairus jumps up. He like, man, you can't handle two. I want one. So he talking crazy. I'm like, yo, Jairus, relax, bro. Only reason I'm name dropping Jairus is because he don't got nothing to do with this. All right.
Yeah.
So one of the shorties take him. They like, all right, come get it. He start dancing on him. They start beating his ass down, boy. I mean, she throwing that thing back. Jairus like, he grabbing me. I'm like, nope, get off me.
No. So Jairus is probably holding his own. He's just grabbing people just to grab people to make a show because that's Jairus.
Listen. I love Jairus like the rest of y'all. He killed season 3. I'm telling you, Jairus is getting his ass whooped. You hear me? Jairus will come on here and he will tell you the truth. I was in danger. Okay? Them Florida girls is different. It's something in the water. All right? It's something in the water. Something in the water. So she backing him down. She doing his thing. As we're Roy, Don Julio, and Just are watching Jairus get his ass handed to him. We're laughing. We're having a good time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're having a good time. Somebody comes and they bump Just.
Oh.
This is where we start heading. So they bump us. I look. I'm like, oh, you good? He can't hear me. He's just looking at me. He's just staring. He walked by. I'm like, that's important. The fact that I wave him off. Because if you know Just is active. Just is gonna take it to you. Yo, my man, we got a problem. We could walk over here. I'm very much him. If you really know me, I waved it off. I said, man, we having a good time. I'm about to ruin Mike Bachelor's party. We good. You got it. Say less. So I tapped Jairus as he's still getting his ass handed to him. Because by then her homegirl had joined in, and now they sandwiching him. Right? That's here nor there. So I tapped Jairus as he's in the middle of dancing. He's like, what's up, Josh? You want some of this? I said, no. We're going to go stand over there. We got you. Come get us when you're done. He's like, all right, babe. Mind you, Jairus hasn't broken a stroke. He is dancing while talking. But he's different.
All 5, 6 of him. Yes.
Right. So I'm like, all right, bro, do your thing, man. You got it, bro. So we standing in the corner. We're not holding up the wall. We near like a sofa. Man, girls just keep, what's up? You want to dance? You want to dance? Me and Roy are like, nah, we good. Like, nah, we good. Nah, we good. Don Julio, he like, whatever. So he do his little thug dizzle, his little two-step. I'm like, all right, get it, Don Julio, do your thing, blah, blah, blah. They keep coming to me and Roy. We like, nah, we good. Yo, respectfully, we good. I guess the dude that had bumped me was feeling away. And mind you, this same dude that bumped me was the same dude that I was watching up top on the roof, watching us. All right. So the next thing I know, Don Julio is next to me. I turn my head. I look at Don Julio. He says something. And then I hear, oh my gosh. So I turn back. It's somebody standing in front of Roy. Roy is like, how tall is Roy?
He ain't taller than me, but he's close. But what, like 5? I say 5'10". 5'10", 5'11". Yeah, he taller than me. He's shorter than me, bro.
All right. Well, he weigh about 2.
Exactly. He got some girth. He got the girth.
Two what? What we going? 275, 280.
I would say at that time, I think he was like 250, 260 because I think he lost a little bit of weight.
Okay. All right. We're not talking about no little dude.
Yeah, nah.
No little dude at all. All right. The dude that was vexing up and getting in Roy's face had to been like 5'5", 185, soaking wet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm like, dog, what's the problem? So I'm tapping Roy. He not responding to me. I'm like, oh nah, I know what that is. Cause usually he knows when it's
It's
me
like,
tapping him.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He'll usually calm down, but he wasn't responding. He was just staring at the dude, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, damn it, it's too late. We here. So
Yes.
the dude keep flexing up. And I'm like, yo, we just gonna have to fight. I already know what this gonna be. So what he does in Roy fashion, because I think the dude later left, right? And
Yeah.
then he got alcohol again, and he came back and he bumped Roy, and that set Roy off. Roy immediately just, he's a big dude. He mushed him into the crowd of girls. All the girls called him, right? The DJ stopped the music. All the girls that was dancing, mind you, oh my bad. VIP section is called VIP section because mostly everybody in there was naked. That's here nor there. Yeah. That's what we walked into. But I want you to paint. I'm trying to paint the picture for the listeners, bro. Picture like basically everybody damn near naked, right? Or nothing on, close to nothing.
Scandalous, scandalous.
Right,
Uh
right,
huh.
right. And you're pushing somebody that's fully clothed into the women that are supposed to be doing tips and tricks so of course it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop the function of the event. So he's drunk. This guy is drunk. He feeling away. So he's looking like, oh, why you push me? Da, da, da. So I just stand next to him. I'm like, well, we here. We here. Whoever popping off first, I'm in your mouth. We here. So I'm like, Roy, what you want to do? He like, man, come on, man. The cops gonna come. Let's go. So he started walking, but he just looking at him walking away. I'm like, oh, it's up. I already know what it is, right? So I guess there's another way out of that place.
Mm-hmm.
They met us. We went downstairs, and the hallway was like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're walking towards the bathroom. This dude and now his homeboy is with him, and they're walking the opposite way that we're coming. So now we in this little hallway. You have to move around the person. I'm like, oh, this it. I see him, and Roy is in front of me, so I'm like, oh, this it. It's up. So the dude is like, oh, yo, why you? And he immediately went back to it. He was like, oh, why you push me like that? So Roy was like, man, I'm not trying to answer no questions. Do you got a problem? So you know me, I walk up. I'm like, hey, bro, just say you got a problem. And there's a problem, bro. He was like, this ain't got nothing to do with you. I said, that's gonna get your jaw broken, bro. Is it an issue or not? So his homeboy steps in. He's like, man, I see y'all about serious business, man. My homeboy is drunk. Da, 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 da. No, and I ain't say nothing. Word was like, man, whatever. We walk. Don Julio, like, man, yeah, take him home. I look at Don Julio, I'm like, that was unnecessary. Come on, bro. I'm like, come on, bro. I'm like, I'm like little kids, bro. Come on. So that's when we circling through the crowd. Everybody's leaving, and we meet up in the middle of the street. It's only me, Don Julio, and Roy. You come down from your high off of your roof because you stayed on that roof. You lived on that roof, right?
No, for a little bit.
You finally come down to meet us. You're still lit. You're like, oh yeah, what's up, bro? Da, da, da. Minnie is there. Joe is there. Everybody's chilling. Roy taps me, right? Roy taps me, right? He's like, yo, let's go. We all gotta go. I'm like, what's up? You remember Buddy from the hallway? I'm like, yeah, what about him? What's up? He just said he going to get the ratchet. I'm like, huh? Where you see him at? So then I'm looking for him, right? He's standing in the middle of the street, right? This is how bold this guy was. He was right next to the cops. The cops were on horses.
Oh
That's why
yeah.
I could pick point where he was at. Because I'm looking at the two horses and the cops on it. And he making hand gestures with his homeboy that he was just in the hallway with. He was like, go get that. Go get that. They think it's a game. Go get that. He was like, man, you sure? He said, go get that. And when I say the boy took off, the boy took off. And I'm like, he going to get the ratchet. I'm like, yo, this is the first time ever I went to go grab for my gun and I didn't have it. I'm like, man, we could. I said, man, we in Florida. Oh, I said, Mike. I said, yo, Mike, bro, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah, I remember that part right there.
You And who was it? You and Joe.
Jairus. No,
Was
it's
it?
probably
No,
it's
no, no.
probably
Jairus came later. He came
okay.
later. You and Joe are some of the most testy fight back people I ever met in my life.
Yo,
Okay.
because we always ask the questions.
I said, Mike, we gotta go. We gotta go now. Joe was like, we just got here. I said, Joe, you the little brother. Let's go.
I remember that.
I said, you the little brother. Of course he has a comeback. Well, you the shorter brother. What does that have to do with anything right now? Let's go. Why y'all not listening? Like, let's go. Okay. After negotiating with Joe and Mike for 2 minutes, right? I finally tell them a small story of what I just told y'all in long, right? Then they, oh, come on, let's go. I'm like, oh, that's what it took. So we start walking, right? We start walking, and we're like, yo, where's Jairus? The rest of that is history. Okay, just know we got out of there safe. It was an event. It was a lot, but it also showed me again how serious that night was on the porch, because the difference in movement versus me and Mike. Me, I was more so, hey, bro, my homie may or may not be in the wrong, but you gonna get your jaw broken, because you know what I mean. Whereas Mike would, in that situation, don't get me wrong. Now, see, this is the part I don't know if you want out there. Mike will break jaws. Mike will get it in. I've seen Mike stand up for himself and be on a different type of time where I go, oh, he in there. You understand? But the difference between Just and Mike, and I think I learned this from you. We'll get into this a little deeper. This is going to be a little bit of a long episode, but it is what it is. What I learned from Mike is going to try his best to diffuse that situation as much as possible. Because if you force him into a situation where he got to defend himself, I don't know if he stops. I've seen him enraged maybe twice in my life. And both of those times, trying to calm him down meant almost fighting him.
Are you talking about that one time in LV?
I'm just okay. I'm just saying the two times attempting to calm you down when you're enraged, it's you almost have to come to blows with you, because you just, I don't know, you see red. I don't know. You got the pride of Jamaica in your heart. I don't know. You be doing a lot, bro. So
Jamaican.
I don't know, bro. But that is the difference. Now, is there anything else you want to say about the Tampa Bay story before I go on to my next thing?
Nah. The Tampa Bay story, you covered it up.
All right. All right, just for the listeners that didn't understand, shout out to Roy. We love you, bro. All right.
Yo, facts.
All right. Can you pinpoint the exact moment when we went our separate directions?
All right. This is if me thinking wise, right? I feel that the moment came during some point eighth grade, the summer after eighth grade,
Okay.
where I was still like playing Pop Warner football and you were playing high school football. I think that's when the separation started. I think literally like August. Because like before that, we were chilling. We were just talking. We knew we were going to separate schools, so we made that point to hang out all the time that summer. That I remember.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna agree with you. I was gonna agree with you, and I just thought of another moment where I think where it went, it shifted. The day we stopped playing with Beyblades.
That far back?
Yeah, because we stopped playing with Beyblades towards the end of seventh grade, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a name. We're gonna call him M. Dot. You fought M. Dot first. That was one of those rage moments that I'm talking about. You fought M. Dot. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Oh.
You fought M. Dot.
and beat him down. By the way,
Hey, you fought M Dot, right? And then I want to say 2 weeks later, he caught himself putting his hands on my cousin, and then I fought M Dot. And me fighting M Dot though, it wasn't a fist fight; it was more so a tussle, right? I think the snapping point though, where I could feel the shift was that you fought M Dot, and then it was love afterwards. Because every time he would see you, it was, oh, what's up, Mike? Or he'd be like, oh, what's up, Speedbone? He'll crack a joke. You know what I mean? It was always a joke, or he'd be like, what's up, right?
you know, I wasn't really talking to him, but yeah.
Exactly. But the mutual respect was there, right? I think after he had did his thing, and I'm gonna say he did his thing against me because all he did was grab me and he swung me around because I was so small in seventh grade. So he had grabbed me and he swung me around. He had me in a spinning me in a circle, and he did that in front of Mr. Carroll's class. Shout out to you, my guy, Mr. Carroll. Right? Where do you get off? We remember you.
Yo.
So we had that was our second experience of a lighter hue teacher that may or may not have cared about us. But in the end, I'll give him his credit. It showed that he did care. It
No,
just was too much. He definitely cared though.
Oh yeah,
Shout
yeah,
out to you,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
wherever you
yeah.
at. But he had spun me around in front of me and MDOT are fighting in the hallway, and he was spinning me around in front of everybody in the classroom. So everybody in the classroom got to see that. So in their eyes, especially in inner city kids, they like, oh, just you lost that fight, right? So when he was done spinning me, I mushed him off me into the wall, right? And he just looked and he's laughing. What people forgot though is that day, that same day that he's spinning me around, Double R is standing right there. In Double R, as you know, that same day, me and Double R had got into it. Double R is like a class or two ahead of us at that point. All right. So what happened is I remember you and M Dot getting into it, and I was like, nah, this ain't going down like this. I was like, ain't no way, right? I'm still in my descent. Cause I'm okay at this point. We're still playing Beyblades, we're still kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to the bathroom, M Dot was in there peeing, and the rest is history. M Dot can tell you this to the day. It was only me and him in that bathroom. He was taking a piss. I waited for him to finish peeing. He zipped up. He was like, and what you gonna do? And we took it there. No cameras, no witnesses. But ever since that day, Mike, me and your brotherhood suffered. Me and M Dot, I wouldn't say we became like this, but I would say 12th Ave's who's, M Dot, Double R, this person, that person. They was just like, hey, yo, just, hey, and I started to move with the other side. So you'd be like, hey, bro, we playing Beyblade? Nah, I ain't got time for that. You don't remember?
Yo, that makes a lot of sense. Cause me and Don Juan was still playing for a little bit until we stopped. Yeah.
Because at a point, if for the listeners, for a point, we were the nerds. We brought Beyblade to School 13, and then the who's I'm trying to give them a name, but the cool kids, I guess, the 12th Ave cool kids, you know what I mean? The who's who, they weren't game bangers at the time. They were, I don't know, the cool kids, I guess. The more aggressive street kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do that. The aggressive street kids. Donovan was a part of that clique.
Yep.
Right? So they were looking at us like, oh, y'all some weirdos, right? And then what ended up happening was the aggressive street dudes started playing Beyblades with us.
Yo.
We merged. No, real Mike, am I lying?
No, that's the crazy thing, yo. Yo, that's the crazy thing. Because before you continue the story, the reason why I think another reason why we all stopped playing too is because then they end up getting banned at school because of them.
Right. And I'm about to get into that. That's how I'm telling you. I know that was the part where we parted ways. What happened was the aggressive street kids they wanted the best Beyblades, but they weren't nerdy enough. They didn't understand you had to customize your Beyblade to get the best Beyblade. They was buying them straight out, and because they had more money, they was going to KB Toys. Shout out to KB Toys. We miss you. Rest in peace.
Yo,
KB, they
facts.
were going to KB Toys, and they was just buying the one straight off the shelf. So they buying Dre Seal and they just spinning with Dre Seal. Nah, you got to take Galleon top, put it on a Dre Seal bottom because it had the double bearings. You feel me? Like, I'm really a nerd. I'm really am, bro. You feel me? So they was only coming out the box and they was shooting their little Beyblades. They was getting mad because they was getting handled in the Beyblade arena, right?
We were handling them. Shoot.
Right,
I remember when I turned Trigun and made them dark.
right. So what ended up happening was that M dot situation. Mike fought M dot first, right? 2 weeks later, M dot caught himself spinning me like a helicopter in front of everybody. I couldn't let that go down. But the difference was I had snapped in a different way. Instead of snapping in front of everybody where everybody could see it, I became on some real other dark thing. I caught him in the bathroom. And then immediately a week and a half, 2 weeks after that, it happened that fast. The hood dudes was just like, oh nah, he did. And then it didn't help that we would play pickup and hold. And I was one of the little smallest people on the field, but I was dangerous because I'm knocking everybody over that's bigger than me. You see what I'm saying? And then shout out to K, we're gonna call him K. He was bigger than me. Me and him got into a fight. I got my ass whooped that time too. Well, we ain't gonna say I got my ass whooped by M dot on the spin helicopter thing. He just spun me like a helicopter. But that K fight, I got my ass whooped. We ain't even gonna we not even gonna sugarcoat it. No. We not gonna do that. It was I hit him 3 times, 1, 2, 3. He hit me with an uppercut. I couldn't see after that. He picked me up, slammed me on the ground, and I couldn't get up. That's to me, that's an ass whooping, bro. You feel me? So I'll take that. But even then, homies in the hood was like, yo, Josh, for him to be so small, he active. This is the next part you don't know about, and this is why I'm standing on what I just said to you. We're gonna call him Big Homie. Big Homie walked up to me one day and was like, "Yo, I've been watching you, blah blah blah. I love the way you give it up. Yo, this is who I am. This is what we do. Boom, boom, boom. This is the blood set that we do. Da da da. Da, and this is why we bloods and this and this and this and this. Bang home. Come bang home. This is 7th grade, Mike. He said, "Come bang home." And who knows what's up, like. But I was a mercenary, dog. Like before they was even to a point where they was like, "Oh, you got to be down with this gang and this and that." I was already, "What's up?" "Oh, hold on, you blood?" "Nah, but you could get this ass whooping." "What? Why you taking his battle?" "Cause that's the homie." All over watching Mike versus M Dot.
That's crazy. We really did affect each other. That's crazy.
Because I couldn't figure out how the man that lost his mother went from 5th grade to 7th grade unbothered. Yeah, you had your angry moments, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you were unbothered. Nobody bothered you until M Dot. Don't get me wrong. Donovan would play little tricks and stuff like that, but he never took it too far.
Yeah.
He never took it too far. Even Double R, crazy ass. He played with you. He used to pluck you on your neck. You stop. Yo, you used to go off on it. I remember.
Yo, because I did say, yeah. Like, what you gonna do, Mike?
They were some bullies, bro.
In my uniform.
Right. So they was, and Mike, I think you were the last person that hung on to the uniform. I finally gave the uniform up in 7th grade. That should have been a trigger for you. 7th grade, bro.
Yeah. That's crazy. I was a year late.
But I was actively gonna go 8th grade too, bro. Cause I was like, yeah, but I was like, nah, it happened before then, bro. And then I'm thinking about the little puppy love relationships I was in and the things I was into. You wasn't into that stuff, man. You wasn't. It was a shift, bro. It was a shift. I was already talking about knocking something down, even though I didn't. But I was already like, man, I'm gonna do this. And you was just like, you're not gonna wait on marriage? What? No. What the It was a shift, Mike. It was a whole shift, bro.
Yeah.
I got one more question to you, and I will let you take it, bro. Why would you keep in close contact with an individual you know is not living the way that you were taught to live?
Well, I think at that point, yeah, we said it the previous episode and episodes before. Now I lost my mom at an early age, so I had to shift my mindset on certain things. And like honestly, I knew me and you. I'm like our friendship, even though we were on two different trajectories or paths, I still didn't think that determined that we were gonna be apart for forever or not still stay connected.
Mm.
Because I felt me personally, yes. They say you make your true lifelong bonds in college. I and that's I would say that's true
Mm.
for a good chunk of people because like there's people in my circle from the college years that my people's for life. But I've always had the mindset like, yeah, there's a couple of people from my day ones that I ain't trying to let go because those my boys for real, for real. And you know, I'm always gonna check in on them. I'm like, life could life, but if anything goes down, I'm there. So, and I think that's how I looked at it, right?
I respect it.
And plus, at the same time, out of all of my friends through and through, yeah, you all were the only ones that knew my mother. In that piece right there, I was not letting go.
Even though you saw the
Oh yeah.
path I was
Oh
taking.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like like you could have been on that path, but that wasn't stopping me from my path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I always knew this. I'm like, all y'all smart enough to get back and get to where I need to in time. So wasn't really worried.
Okay. I respect it.
Yeah.
Respect it. You
And
got it.
you said before
What?
before
What?
we move
What?
on,
I forgot the question.
why you keep close contacting with an individual that isn't living the way you do?
You were my anchor. You were my anchor. Again, you were the first person to accept me coming back home to Patterson. I was considered a nerd. I was considered like different because I didn't get the privilege of going through kindergarten in Patterson. I didn't get the first, second, third, or fourth grade. I remember I came fifth grade. I missed whatever trip that was. Was it Camp McCamus or whatever that was
Oh,
y'all went
Camp
to?
Camus, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh, I
missed that.
so I so forgot you actually came. Yeah, yo,
Crazy, y'all came back.
that's crazy. Okay,
The very week y'all came back, everybody was lit, and it was like, "Oh, this is your new classmate, Justice Payne Tyson." You feel me? So you were the first person that had stepped up because I had the uniform and you had the uniform. Everybody else was in street clothes.
Roy.
Roy, and Don
Roy.
Julio.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Roy and Don Julio had it, but Roy didn't. His didn't last that long.
No, Roy's lasted until 6, 7. Yeah, Don Julio didn't last
It was
long.
Don Julio, right?
Yeah.
Right, Don Julio. So we were the only ones, and even then, me and Roy's relationship was in passing. Like it got there, but it got there like maybe like 4 weeks after me and you, right? And then Don Julio, I want to say the same thing, 4 weeks, because then it was. But again, dude is my anchor, so yeah, I can feel what's happening to me, right? And then there's still a part of that we don't speak about. Before I got to Patterson, right? I had already gotten jumped in the BX when I was living in the Bronx. So I had already picked these dudes off one by one as a, you know what I mean? So we
Mhm.
not even talking about those things as event. You were keeping me a nerd. You were keeping me a kid. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But but me being in my environment, I was becoming my environment 100%, bro. 100%. You know what I mean? When we had the I'm not happy to speak on this next one, but I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna leave it alone. When we got into it with the extra needs class, because we called them something else back then.
Oh
You
yeah,
remember?
yeah.
On the side, a
I
squeak
bel
thing?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I remember that.
Okay. I remember we did our tussle thing with them, and you walking by because me and you used to walk the same route every time, right? From home to school. And I remember you standing there waiting on me. And you could see in that alleyway, you saw me come out, and I saw the look in your eyes. You were so excited. You was like, "Oh yeah, we about to walk home." And I immediately took up arms and boop, boop, and you're watching me do this. And as I'm done doing it, hands bloody, I walk over to him like, "Come on, bro, let's go."
It's such a different. Yo, life is so different back then. Yo.
Of course, I'm gonna continue rocking with you. You're the anchor to let me know that there's I don't have to do what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's another way. You're showing it. I wasn't going nowhere at that time.
At that time. At that
There's
time.
more. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So, did anyone around you ever try to convince you to stay away from the other person? And this goes for both of us. But I'll let you start first.
No, I naturally pushed you away. I pushed you away. The same instance when I looked at you up and down, like you're not grabbing this gun. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? You know what I'm saying? Is the same wisdom I had as a youngin in seventh grade and eighth grade to start to push you away. I didn't fully push you away until we got to high school. That's what it really was. That's what you're thinking of. You're thinking of the middle of eighth, I mean, the bottom of eighth grade, high school, when we started high school.
Yeah.
That's when I pushed you away. That's when I started going to New York.
Yeah, because we didn't hang out every weekend.
That's what you're thinking about. That's what you're thinking about.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's when I
Oh,
that's when I fully took the plunge. When I was active in New York and I was introducing you to that situation, that's when I was fully gone, Mike. You couldn't recognize me. You just was happy that I was with something. You see what I'm saying? Something that could ground me because you no longer were the anchor, so you thought anyway.
no, that's a
But
good
yeah, I mean to say anybody was like in my ear about not how I hid you. You didn't you only existed to people from school 13. You understand? So if you went to
I get
school
what you're saying.
13, yeah,
I
if
get
you
what
went to school
you're saying.
13 with Just, you know about Mike. But if you didn't go to school 13 with Just, Mike don't exist. Because I don't talk about him.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a and I that wasn't me like trying to shoo you as my brother and like that. It was me protecting you because I knew what I was getting into and I didn't want nobody to attach that to you.
It's funny that you say that because like I didn't intentionally omit you from people in high school. I didn't intentionally do it. It just happened.
Hmm.
Like the only like in all honesty, the only people that like I introduced you to my ex or exes that I dated in high school. And they didn't even go to tech, so it didn't even matter.
Right. Because I want to
Like,
say your senior year or whatever year that was when we played football was the first time people saw camaraderie between us. Because they were confused. They was like, y'all on two different teams. Why y'all doing all this? Like y'all slapping each other up, laughing at each other, stuff like that. They were your teammates were thoroughly confused because they was getting a demon from me. You saw it. I was not playing with them, but anytime you made a hit against me, you was like, "Yeah, let's go, get out, bro, get out, bro." They looking at you like you talking to, he just slapped the shit out of X, Y, and Z on your team. That ain't me. That ain't me. Y'all get my bro mad. Yo, why you keep calling him your bro?
I did defend you in that scrimmage, yo.
I wasn't playing with them.
Yo, oh, I'm like on the field. I'm like on the in between the lines. I do what I gotta do, but that's my brother through and through any day of the week.
And I give you all credit in the world because I was disrespectful. I was not playing. I'm trucking your boys. I'm putting my cleat in their chest. I was doing a lot. I apologize. Okay, I made it hard for you. I apologize.
You ain't make it hard. I was good. I was good either way.
But to answer the question, nobody stepped up and was like, "Yo, you don't need to be hanging around Mike," because they couldn't. Now, what about you?
So the crazy thing is, no one really said that. I felt like people like question like, "Are you and Jess even friends anymore?" I'm like, "Yeah, we just."
Mm,
I'm like, just because, and like I said in previous season, just because me you don't see me talking to just 24/7 like we did when we were in grammar school, don't mean me and him aren't friends. We check in. We just have two different lives right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, man. All right. Think you kind of already answered this, but we just gonna recap. What did you see in the other person that motivated you to be better, if anything?
Again, you were an anchor, so watching you bloom and give praise to the Lord and give praise to your sis, and in my eyes anyway, have a healthy upbringing minus the tragedy that you went through. It motivated me to go, there's a way, there's a way. And then by the time we had got to the end of senior year and you had gotten the scholarship and then Brian talk was going and anything, I was like, I don't know if you remember, I was just like, hey, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like I was lit for you. And then
Yeah.
you was like, bro, you ain't getting no scholarships because you was doing your thing in football. I was just like, nah, I'm not really
Yo, I
concerned.
kept asking. Yeah, I kept asking. Yeah.
Not really concerned. I'm gonna go to Passaic County Community College. I'm gonna get it in, do what I do there, and we gonna be active. We gonna be here. We good.
You legit. That's exactly how that conversation went down. That is exactly how that conversation went down.
But to watch you leave, to me, that was the moment. I was just like, yo, that's motivation. He gone. He's not in Patterson anymore. He's gone. There's nobody at the end of the day, nobody can say, "Oh, Mike didn't do what he was supposed to do from fifth." And again, I'm only going based off fifth grade, from fifth grade to senior year in high school, because I watched it, I lived it, I was there. It don't matter if I was across the street doing shit I ain't had no business doing. I still saw it. I was there. I was active around it. When you left, it made it real, and I was like, "Yo, it's only two things that's gonna happen next. I'm gonna catch a bullet, or I'm gonna catch a plane." I said that. I said it. I said I'm gonna catch a bullet or I gotta catch a plane. And what was that? 2010, whatever year that was when
Yeah.
Wiz Khalifa dropped this plane. Don't know what they hate for, just getting my paper. Maybe they'll
Mhm.
love me more when I'm gone. Bro, that was my anthem. Once you left, and I said, yo, I'm gonna catch a bullet or I'm catching this plane, bro. Then my granny came. She was like, "Nah, you gotta go to her and my mama and my aunt. They was doing all that chit chat to my. You gotta get out of Patterson." Da, da, da. I'm like, man, Mike left. Let's see. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I was so active. I was enjoying everything that came with the streets and the girls and the homies. I was loving it. I ain't gonna lie. But bro, I would have died. I know that for a fact. I
Wow.
would have died.
And you know the funny thing that you said that is that I don't I don't even know if people realize this. The way that Patterson is now, with all the violence and whatnot, like
Mhm.
not saying that Patterson didn't have violence before, but everything kicked off the summer of '09. So you saying that has a lot of truth to it.
I'm telling you, because we've always had up the hill versus down the hill, but not like that. That was different.
That
And
like
I continue to tell people all the time, 4K, even though they're not considered down the hill, when 4K made it their business to come all the way over there to that school that will not be named out of respect for the livelihood of the school and to fight some kids in school, it was grown men coming to a school to fight kids. That's when I knew. I was like, yo, I'm too deep. I'm in too deep. I'm a kid fighting grown men, and the whole hood came to the school to fight us. And episode one of this season, I alluded to my Buzz coming home, right? And I keep
mhm,
calling him Buzz for a reason. For those of you that are uninitiated, that is gang talk for cousin, right? This is my
mhm.
cousin. My cousin came home recently, right? Like, we'll say that. But do you know, in the midst of me fighting the people from 4K, that one of the people from 4K was like, "Oh man, we ain't even gonna play with them. We gonna get X, Y, and Z come through." My Buzz is known in the hood to be active with the
Mm-hmm.
ratchet. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you got a couple of people that have been harmed, right? Playing with my cousin. I didn't know though at the time because I didn't know him as that name in the hood. They were calling my cousin on me to put me down. Never knew.
What?
Never knew until I was an adult. And that is what made me get excited for this episode because when I had the conversation with him, I was like, yo, your nickname, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, man, they called me, this is what I used to do, boss. But I ain't happy about that. I'll change my life over. I believe in God. It hit me. I'm like, yo, they called you to kill me. And we had a moment as cousins, and we was just like,
Yo.
yo, what are we doing? We was adults though. We was
Yeah.
adults, but we looking at each other like, yo, what are we doing? And it hit me, and I'm like, we was recording like season 3 though during that time, and I was just like, yo, me and Mike gotta make 2 guys 1 gun, bro. Because damn, bro, like,
Yeah.
how do I sit every week on, in front of my brother, knowing that he was wholly sanctified, he had fun in college, he was praising the Lord, and me, I was working for the enemy.
Mm.
Still had the Holy Ghost in my heart, but working for the enemy. You understand? That was my saving grace. A praying grandmother, a praying mother, shit, a praying brother and Mike. I
Like,
don't know what the question was. I hope I answered your question. My bad.
no,
I'm really this is my kind of
no,
episode. My
no,
bad.
no. You answered the question. What motivated you? At,
My
to be
brother.
feeling-
The
Yeah,
anchor. Yeah.
yeah. No. Now,
You?
so here's the crazy thing about you, right? Now, and it's kind of funny that the things that you said with me, it made you do things. It was the things that you were doing that affected me, which is crazy because, like, yes, I would always went to the beat of my own drum. Yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I think what gave me even more courage to do it is when I saw you in instances where people tried to tell you to do things, and you was like, "Nah, son, that's not how we're gonna go. This is how I'm gonna do it." Right, right. And I'm like, "All right, cool." And it was like even that instance of that conversation where you said, "Yo, that's what I'm talking about, Mike." When I was going to Bryant, and I asked you like, "What's up?" I'm like, "What's going on?" Hey, he's like, "No, I'm gonna just go to community college and do my thing right now." But yo, he keeping it simple. He's staying home. He's still doing this. You know what? I can't even be mad at that.
Mm.
And I'm like, if he could do it there, I definitely got to do it here. And if I don't do it there and bring it back, something's wrong.
Mm.
But then when you hit me, you was like, yo, Mike, I'm moving to Texas. I was like, yo, he making moves. Like I knew he's gonna make moves, but he making can't be mad at you. And like even and then that I think you moving to Texas especially made it harder for us to talk all the time, right?
Mm.
And even still, our 3 month, 4 month regroup and talking, we still kept each other embracing everything that was going on, letting us know what's going on in our personal and our social and in our school life. Just that we make sure that we were both on our toes. Like when I told you what I was going through with my education stuff, with my scholarship and whatnot, and you was like, "Yo, Mike, I'm gonna need you to get right because you already know how your sister gonna be." And like you got those 2 little ones following you right behind. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, you definitely kept me motivated when I did lose motivation or I got off track for a little bit. You definitely besides Big Sis, you probably the other voice of reason that I needed always.
Right. Right.
So yeah, you can't think of anything. All right, but let's go to this point. Was there ever a moment that you seriously consider ending this relationship due to life changes?
Junior year.
High school or college?
Yeah. Yeah. High school. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I had just
Elaborate.
broken. I had just broken my finger. Was that the year we scrimmaged, y'all?
No, I think we scrimmaged senior year.
Okay.
We scrimmaged the season before senior year.
So '07. Oh, that's what it was. '07 had just broken my finger. I was fully innuendoed in the what you call it, the streets. I wasn't staying at home. I wasn't going home often, and we would talk sporadically. And you was telling me all the good things you was doing at Tech, and I was like, man, that's what's up. I'm happy for you. And in my head, I was like, you're in his way. You're in his way because he's continuing to reach out to you, and you're wasting his time. You're not doing anything. I'm not gonna say I wasn't doing anything with my life. I wasn't a dumb kid. I wasn't just out being a hooligan, but I wasn't doing anything. I mean, I was going to school, getting the A's and B's and the C's just to pass, because I was really smart. But I didn't give a f about school. Real talk. But the more and more I would talk to you, the more and more I'm like, yo, I'm wasting your time and you wasting my time because what I'm trying to do, you're not doing. You are living your life. You're doing the proper thing. And every time I would talk to you during '07, it was only '07, by the way. And it could have been this because I was in my feelings about having, because I couldn't play that season. I was mad. I would like what I had to, I couldn't hit nobody, bro. No boxing, no football, no wrestling, nothing. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I'm in my feelings. So in my head, I'm going, yo, you're in his way because the moment I go back to is right there when we fought the special needs kids, right? And they weren't special needs in the sense of like they had autism or anything like that. They just were behavioral special needs. So behaviorally, they got their ass whooped fucking with me and a couple of other people, but that's here nor there. That's here nor there. But I go back to that moment where you stood there waiting on me so we could walk home, and I'm walking to you with bloody hands.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment in '07, I was like, man, you holding him back, bro. Let him go. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I never considered at any point,
Mm.
and it's not even. It's not. Well, no, I never did. I never truly did. I think like the thought may have crossed my, specifically in college, though, and that was more. Here's the crazy thing.
Damn.
Here's the crazy
I
thing
was
about.
getting my life together, Mike. Nah, go ahead.
No, 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 no. I get that. No, no, that's perfectly fine. But like, no, people were trying to beat in my head. The friends you make in college, those are
Mm.
lifetime friends, right? And I'm like, I have a couple of those, but I still have a couple of people that I met in grammar school and then in high school that I'm like, yeah, these still my people. What do you? Nah, it's no, because like I can, if I think about it now, and I go through my Rolodex of college friends, I have a handful. I have like that are really like I can call and be like, yo, what's up? What's going on? Female and male, right?
Mm.
But no, they didn't replace Shot.
Mm.
No way. No way. They didn't replace Shot. They couldn't replace Shot. So like every time I kept hearing that and I'm like, yeah, no, like I felt some type of way. You never came to my college, I never went to yours. But I think as I grew older, hindsight and looking at things, I'm like, we had the money to do all that like some of these other
Mm-mm.
folks, right? I
Mm-mm.
came from a household where my mom died. At that point, I was barely talking to my father, and my sister was handling everything. And my sister was in her 30s, if I remember correctly.
You talking about high school? I mean, college?
College.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Keisha was
Don't give the exact age. She was in her 30s. We yeah, yeah.
late 20s, early 30s.
Right, right.
And I'm thinking like Keisha doing all that and 30 something now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what?
You see why I said what I said last episode.
I'm like, what? So ending this relationship? Nah, I couldn't do it.
Mm.
Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. But next thing, as a kid, as a teen, and then later knowing as a young adult growing up in the inner city, how did your mindset change when walking with your bro together versus walking alone? And as this is walking in the streets of Patterson.
Okay. As a child, I wasn't doing much walking in the streets by myself. So if I wasn't with Mike, I was with my mom or my sister, or I was walking with JP. We're talking about a kid, so we're talking about 10 to 11 and a half, 12, right?
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. When seventh grade rolled around, me and Mike would walk, but I would leave him at his house, and then I would take the shortcut that I had alluded to in the other episodes. It changed a lot. My mindset was different. It was very combative. It was very I wish somebody would. I'm going here. I don't care who hood it is. That started to spiral me into my dare I say it, suicidal state. I wasn't suicidal, but I had a suicidal state. Whereas I'm known in Patterson for sure, for sure. You can nobody in Patterson can take this away. I had an iPod. I had the you remember exactly. That's why you making the face. I had a black iPod.
Yo,
Okay,
Max.
you remember
With
eight
your
gigabytes.
hoodie. With your
My
hoodie.
hoodie, 8 gigabytes, right? With the headphones, and I used to walk around up the hill, down the hill at all times of the night by myself, blasting 50 Cent, blasting R&B music, Outkast, you name it, Nas, DMX, you name it, and I was dolo by myself. But it was suicidal because you're going into enemy territory. Don't get this confused. As a grown man, as Pattersonians, we got to get out of that mindset. We all love each other. We all got family from up the hill, down the hill, believe it or not. So that whole up the hill, down the hill in hindsight was stupid, bro. That whole beef is dumb, and I hope it dies. It's cute when we playing sports. Long live Eastside versus Kennedy, and now Tech wants to come into the fold, but y'all like the cousin. but but long live
I
that
get it
beef.
though. I get
Right,
it.
long live that rivalry. That's fun. It keeps the juices flowing within the city. But that whole up the hill, down the hill battle, bro, is stupid. We killing each other for nothing. But I wanted to give people a picture. I was walking around during a high time where we were killing each other because you were from up the hill. You were from down the hill. And made what made matters worse, Mike. I was going down the hill messing with chicks from down the hill on purpose. On purpose. Do something. I took your chick. Now what? Do something. Now, when I say messing with them, I wasn't like knocking them down. I just was proving a point.
He like, I gotta make that known. I gotta make that known.
No, I didn't hit the shorties from down here. I just went down there to make my presence felt like,
Yeah.
oh, this the one y'all be beasting over. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. People were beasting over. It's
Mm-hmm.
so funny.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
funny.
long walks.
Yeah,
Those
man.
the long walks. But that was me by myself because I can't even really think back to a time as teenagers or adults where we walked together anymore. Because really, after seventh grade, a lot of that died.
I I feel like the only time like when we walked late night, it was during college. We were hanging out one of the spots, and we happened to go to the store and come back. That was literally it. We really didn't walk anywhere. We were in the house chilling, playing games,
Reminiscing.
talking, reminiscing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I remember as a young adult. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy though. As a kid, I tried not to venture in certain areas walking by myself. If I did, I was with an adult or I was with a group of people. As a teen, yeah, I got bold. I got bold, especially when I got in a relationship. So let me tell you the nightly story, though. this is why I had to throw the nightly story in. So when I was with my ex, she lived such and such on the other side, the east side, right? East side Park.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Your brother would walk there during, if I didn't have practice or anything during the day, it was light out, cool. But at night, and like hindsight, thinking about it now is like, as an adult, why are you letting this young black brother walk back home at 10, 11 o'clock at night? Sometimes midnight on the weekends. Yeah. And this is from,
Which way? We talking about Reland Ave and all of that? Like,
yeah, that's the easy part. But then walking Park Ave, down Broadway in certain instances at those times and hours, where you see some crazy stuff. Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah. There was a there was a couple of times when I did do that walk, right? Keisha called me and she's like, and she this is when she did live in Patterson, and she's happened to be on her way home. She's like, Mike, where you at? I'm coming to get you right now.
Boy, her
Don't
Holy
move.
Spirit activated.
Yo, bruh. And here's the crazy thing. That same night, there was either a shooting or someone died.
Mm. Mm.
So yeah, I got bold in my teenage years, but I was bold for the wrong reason.
I mean, it is a reason though. I mean, I feel you.
And no, I was not knocking the boots down like that. No,
Mm,
not at all. It wasn't
mm.
knocking no boots. I was going to hang out with my girl at the time.
I never knew that.
Yeah. I feel like we've talked about my past relationship, but we didn't talk about that stuff right there.
You So then, when you were doing those 90 things, you couldn't have walked to 12th Ave. You didn't cross 10th Ave. You said Park, but we would kind of we
The
would only
crazy
be over there for
But
D.
the crazy thing is, I don't even think you realize there was one time that I walked to hang out with you guys because I told her I was going to hang out with her first. I walked all the way over there, and I crossed 10th and 12th Ave to get to where we were at by myself.
Let me say this and let me stand on this, and I feel like 12th Ave will have the same reaction. Nobody on 12th Ave would have touched you. I
Makes
I
sense.
stand on what I said because you know who Michael Bennett is, and you don't. It's that's not me putting stain on his name like Mike was active in the streets or something like that. He was the kid that you saw and you go, "All right, Bennett, what you doing over here?" You would immediately get questioned.
What you doing out this late? Yo, facts. Facts. Facts.
So, all right, that's wild.
Yeah,
That's wild. Okay. Okay.
man. It's sometimes I don't even. So I'm like, huh? When I actually think about it now, I'm like, yo, I was wilding.
That's because you had that bad influence adjust in your life. See, if you would have just cut him off, like, let me stop. Oh man, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man.
I feel like this last question don't really need to be said because I feel like we've already talked about it. And it's basically saying, how would you felt if you were in my shoes? Would you have done or acted anything anyway differently?
Like the whole thing, the totality of this leading up to this, two guys, one gun.
Yeah, man.
I
If you
I
were
don't
in my shoes, remember, if you were in my shoes.
nah nah. It made you who you were today. I think you got just enough of the hood element from watching us go through our perils, our traumas, and if I'm being honest, you had. And this is my view. You had the first trauma.
Yeah.
You had the first trauma. We were late to the show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you may not have gotten shot in that. Maybe you didn't get shot. A couple of us got shot. Maybe you didn't get stabbed. Some of us got stabbed. You know what I'm saying? Like you were late. I can't recall a time you got jumped. I can't recall.
Well, I don't even know if you can really call that jumping. That one time when M. Dot came back with I don't even remember his name. We just gonna call him Connie or Corey, and they got me in the hallway. And remember, my mom was downstairs waiting. Then my mom came
Mm.
upstairs to come get me, but I was already in the
Yeah,
office.
but they wasn't going for no smoke. They was huffing and puffing.
Yeah, they caught me off guard because I wasn't even looking
Right,
at them. Yeah,
right.
yeah,
It was,
yeah,
it was a huff and a puff. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It wasn't.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They didn't take it there, but no, you didn't have to go through those things. But you watched us go
oh
through
yeah,
those things, and
oh
I
yeah,
think it shaped who you were because you're like, no, 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 thank you, no, thank you, no parts of that. I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So even if you had it in your mind, right, like
yeah.
as you're on your way to church, right, even if you had it in your mind, man, I wonder what they doing over there on 12th Avenue. It sure would be cool to know what's going on over there. The church was right in front of you. You was having that thought, and you'll go in there, get your holy sanctifiedness, and you forget. I
Sounds
think
about
it
right.
made you who you were today. I don't know if I'm gonna take Mike any differently. You were and still were the anchor for a lot of that. Cause even Roy was for real, you and Roy, you don't
Yo,
like to say it out loud, right?
yep.
But his mama didn't play that either. Y'all were the same in that instance, but Roy, he didn't go so far down the street path. He touched it and left it, touched it and left it. But he went into a whole nother realm, which we're not gonna get into. He went into a political realm as a youth. So that even had an impact on you. You was watching him do that. So I think you being able to watch everybody around you, man, and made who we looking at today. So no, I don't think if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't have changed nothing, man. Of course, except for the trauma involved. But
Yeah,
other than that, nah, man, it made you who you are.
yeah, yeah. I
Maybe
don't.
not so many fights with Joe. I'll take that back. I'll take that back. I was on the outside. You were overdoing it, Mike. Fuck that. No, we here now. Hold on, hold on.
Wait. I tell you this: the one thing about the fights with Joe, honestly, there could have been way more fights with Joe,
Okay.
but there weren't, and that was because of me. So I tell you like this: it's like you gotta remember. You gotta remember. You said it. You said it earlier. Mike will take. Mike will take. Mike will take. Mike will take until he gets to this point where he gotta stop it and shut it down.
Y'all
That
could have.
that was me and Joe. But the thing is, I don't know if I could have did if I could have did anything differently at that point.
In the moment, no. Okay, I agree. In hindsight, because we're older, if you just would have shut up and listened, I think y'all would have been okay in that moment.
But
You
here's the
was
but
you was a gorilla, bro. I'm
yeah,
saying that out of love, bro. You was a
yeah,
gorilla, man.
no, I get no, and I get that, and I see where you're coming from. But I can still say I don't know if that is entirely would change anything because you gotta remember how Joe was after my mom, bro.
He was angry,
He wasn't just angry; he kept himself.
right? So
So
why?
no. So me, like that's just me because I'm present myself as a older brother. But at the same time, I did try to talk to him. Did I get anything out? No. And the crazy thing is, it wasn't Gorilla Mike at that point in time. It was just me being a concerned big brother and trying to actually understand him. But Joseph was closed off for that.
But what did just tell you literally 2 minutes ago?
My vibrato, but that's
No, I just told you to shut up and just be there. You you took you so focused on I'm the big brother. I did try to be him for nobody is questioning that. You asked me was if I was in your shoes, was there anything I would have changed? And you thought I was gonna talk about some street shit, some mic shit, some church shit. No, the one thing that popped in my head was that relationship with you and Joe. I was afraid for your relationship because I was afraid he was gonna grow to hate you. And it's part my fault because I should have just checked you in the moment and be like, bro, But again, in hindsight, we didn't know. We was kids.
Wait,
But
what? I
hear
don't.
me out. Mike. Hear
Yeah,
me
I
out.
hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
No. If Mike just would have slowed down, you saw what was happening to your brother. You saw out of the three of y'all, out of the four of y'all, my bad, pardon me, because I'm only thinking about the boys. Out of the four of y'all, to me and Joe, if I'm talking too much, bro, we'll play this for you and you can edit it out. But to me, Joe was taking it the worst. The absolute worst. The absolute worst. He was scaring me so much because I thought he was coming over to this side where I was at. He was scaring the hell out of me. And what you were doing, you were attempting to love on him in the Christianity mindset. And I was like, I wasn't mad at it, but I was like, I don't know if Joe need that right now. He just needs somebody to just be silent and sit in that moment with him. Don't tell him you there for him. Show him. That's all he needed from his big bro. But you was so like, I'm here, bro. I'm here. And I respect you all day. But if I could do anything different, if I was Mike, I just would have sat there.
No, you know what? I get that. Okay, I get that. I get that. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Cause that thing y'all went through, that scared the living hell out of me. Cause I was like, I don't want that. I don't want to see that. So when y'all arose, when I came out of my cocoon from college and I saw how tight y'all were, I damn near cried when I saw that picture. I said, oh, because Joe will get out here and tell you, those were some times, boy. Mike versus Joe, that was a thing. That was
It
a thing.
was. It was. But you know, I'll also tell you hindsight too is that Joe had a lot of outside factors with that piece. It
That's
wasn't
facts.
it wasn't just him on his own. It was a little outside factors. But I ain't gonna dive into that because that's Joe's story to tell.
Right. That's facts. Respect.
Um,
You?
how I felt about if I was in your shoes. I don't know if I could change anything, right? Because like even though we said I had a major trauma, you also had a trauma with your parents. Parents weren't together.
Mm-hmm.
Pops was, I don't know if I want to dive in to say all his information, but he wasn't around when he wanted to be around,
Mm-hmm.
and that also had an effect and toll on you. So I don't know I don't know if I would change anything either because, like you said, it made you who you are today. And if you would have went the same route as me, I don't think we have this balance between the two of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's really it. I don't think we have this balance. Don't work. I
I
think
think
it.
you definitely drop the hood. You definitely go neighborly therapist for sure.
Yeah, but
There's no neighborhood therapist involved at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think, yeah, this wouldn't be the Black Men Missing Still podcast the way it should be if we did not go our routes. So,
Respect, man. Man, we went hard on this one, man. We went kind of long, man. You got anything for the listeners and those of you that made it to the end, man? Y'all really rock with us because that's love.
woo, facts, facts. Nah, nothing else to add. Just we see y'all next week. Peace.
What up, listeners? Mike B here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on IG at BMM_podcast. On TikTok at BMM Podcast. Facebook, just type in the Black Man Misunderstood Podcast. And then you can find the Neighborhood Therapist at the Neighborhood Therapist on IG. And you can find myself at Mike B_BMM on IG. And if you want to connect with our producer, the DJ himself, Mr. DJ Daxter, check him out at DJ Daxter on IG. Alright, folks. See y'all next week.